This video is called Our Dad's Garage. He's my dad. Yeah!
All right, gang. Well, had a pretty good day today. I've got most of the frame. Brittany and I, she had to hold the bucket, and I got the Sandblaster out. Hooks up to your pressure washer. I'll have to do a review of that thing later on. If your sand gets wet, you're going to go nowhere. But as long as you have pretty good dry sand, the thing works good. I mean, you can tell, when I sandblasted the frame, I got it really clean. And I'm coming through here now, and I was going to make some more videos, but I mean, watching a guy hand paint a frame is probably not worth the price of admission. I'll tell you what I use. It's a pretty good paint. Rust-Oleum. It's oil-based. Absolutely nothing wrong with Rust-Oleum paint. Stuff will last forever. I like the gloss black because it just cleans up so well. I'll probably put 2 coats on here. Going through. What I'm going to do while I've got it down like this is I'm going to paint everything that I can get to from the top side first. And then when I get it up on my rack, I'll just be able to touch up the bottom side of it. I'm not sure I'm going to paint those leaf springs yet. I haven't just decided if I'm going to keep them yet. Easy enough. Paint them later. That rear end has to come back out one more time to do some fastening there where the leaf spring comes out. So I'll probably paint that when I take it back out. But I'm just trying to get the frame painted now. So it's looking pretty good. I'll do another update just here in a little bit, but today's pretty low tech. All right, well, it's getting dark. You can't really see it all, but I got a whole lot of those parts in there with a pretty good coat of Rust-Oleum. And it all looks good. No, it looks pretty good. I'd be proud of that, Frame's in great shape. It just had surface rust, didn't have any frame issues at all. So everything else that I didn't get from the top side, I think once I get it up on my rack, I've got a little rack that'll get it about 26 inches off the ground, and that's plenty of space to get underneath there. The beauty of that is I can lay down and do it, and there's worse things than laying on your back and painting, and one of them is bending over and painting. So today was a little bit tougher than the next day, but yeah, the motor and tranny, by the way, I'm going to go ahead and pull. I've got to replace those motor mounts anyway, and I'll go ahead and paint the block and do some things like that with the motor and get that in good shape. And that'll let me also access some other areas of the frame that I couldn't paint with the motor in the way. And that's cool. The springs are getting replaced. There's a drop kit that I'm getting. The lower A-arms will be painted then at the time when I replace those, so they'll be easy to access at that point. Don't know yet about backing plates for those drum brakes. Haven't made a decision about any of that yet, but I can take all that stuff off and paint it pretty easily once the car is kind of put back together. I'm not too concerned with that. These are just things that I can't paint once the body sits back on top of it, and I'm about to do that here pretty soon. So that's the update. Okay, folks, well, we're done for the day. Wanted to say a few things about painting the frame before I got cleaned up. I got to go take a shower. I got sand in my hair, and I'm nasty. Sandblasting is not fun. The kit that I bought is on Amazon for about 25 bucks, and I thought I'd give it a shot to see how it works. It's this kind of a gizmo and hooks to the end of your pressure washer. That end replaces the tip of your pressure washer, and then it siphons in sand. Now, if your sand gets wet or it is not absolutely dry, it will not work. And I'll show you how dry my sand is. Now, this is sand that is damp, not wet, but damp, and I'm telling you, it will not suck that up either. But if that sand, when I started, I had a bucket of sand that was really dry, just bone dry sand, and it blasted. I mean, it tore through that everything. It was amazing. At the end, Brittany was actually standing in the truck with a bucket on the hood of the truck, and she was beating on the bucket trying to help the thing suck up the sand, and it was just kind of a mess. But 25 bucks. I mean, you've got a if you can get your sand dry for 25 bucks on Amazon, and I'll put a link on it. You can do a pretty cool media blast with a pressure washer. If you use an inexpensive paint like this Rust-Oleum, just a gloss black Rust-Oleum, go to Home Depot and get it. If you spill brake fluid on your car, putting in your brakes, and you get it on your frame rail and it eats the paint off, because it will, and you will, you've got an easy way to touch that up, and this stuff lays. It's so forgiving, it's unbelievable. This oil-based paint, the oil-based paints will literally just kind of lay themselves out there. You could probably paint a car with it with a roller, and it come out pretty decent. So I mean, you can do a good looking paint job with an inexpensive paint, and Rust-Oleum obviously has the chemicals in it to fight rust, and thus the name. And you know, I've painted tractors with it. The stuff lasts. I mean, it's a very durable paint, and it's something that if you decide you're going to do your car, it's something you should consider, because you know it can be matched, and you're going to have issues under the hood and underneath the car. You're going to have some issues, and it's really nice to be able just to go grab something quick and do some touch-up painting. So just consider that Rust-Oleum product. I mean, you could do, if you decide to paint your car, your frame rail's white. I mean, Rust-Oleum comes in all different kinds of colors. I think a good basic frame coat, frame color would be great for any car. But black, you can't go wrong with that. So that's what we're going to do. Painting the frame, you know, a lot of people, you see it on TV, they send these cars out. They'll say, well, you know, we're going to send the frame out powder coat. And that's cool, but man, that's a high dollar proposition or anything. And again, this car is not going to be some show car, anything like the Bel Air over there. This is going to be a fun daily driver type restoration, and a sandblasted and Rust-Oleum painted frame is way better than most cars running down the road. So that's going to be really nice. It's going to be nice and clean looking. I think it's just fine for that kind of thing. Everybody's got opinions about that. My opinion is it's good enough.